Hey guys, Tasman Hart here. Welcome back to my another review, and today this is a movie review. And of course, I saw the recent film, and and here is my review for the movie Goat. So, Goat is the newest animated film from Sony Pictures Animation, and this is from the same artists, same team that produced the Spider Verse films, the Spider Man Into the Spider Verse, Spider Man Across the Spider Verse, and of course K-pop Demon Hunters. So, so the plot of this movie is about a small goat named Will gets a once in a lifetime shot in to join the pros and play Roarball, a high intensity, contact sport that's dominated by the fastest, fearless animals in the world. Riddled by his teammates, Will becomes determined to revolutionize the sport and prove that the small can ball. So I saw this movie in theaters. Of course, you know, I was actually pretty interested in seeing this movie. When I saw the trailers of this movie didn't look amazing, but the animation does look really cool. But I wouldn't really say this movie looks amazing because it seems like a kind of like the type of story you've seen many times in other films, like this basic underdog story, like this one guy is gonna win the game, all that type of stuff. We've seen that many times. And even but I was interested because it's from the same artists that made some of the best animated films ever. That puts animation in their movies to put mix 2D and 3D animation and cares about story and like they did the Spider-Verse films and one of my favorite movies of last year, K-pop Demon Hunters. All near flawless films. Love all these films. So I was kind of curious about what they could do with Goat, which is that's the original film, and it's going to be all about furry animals. Like it does have that little like kind of remind me a lot like what if Spider-Verse mixed with Zootopia mixed with Space Jam type thing. I was like, okay. So I went to go see it. I didn't think it looked amazing, like I said, but I saw this movie in theaters, and what do I think of it? I gotta say, guys, this movie is a good time. This movie was a good time. Now, would I say it's an amazing film? No, I don't think it's amazing. But for what it is, it's a delightful film. I think Goat is actually surprisingly really fun and really charming. So the positive of this movie is that the animation, like I mentioned before, this is from the same artist that did the Spider-Verse films. The animation looks fantastic. It looks awesome. I love its style. I love its movements and these character designs. It looks very fluid. It's vibrant colors and it looks really good on screen. And seeing that on screen just makes me feel like I was in a good mood. I was like I cannot ever get out of my seat to see how good the animation looks. And of course, I'm starting to get really interested with these type of trend because it does seem like a really cool trend that can make movies like this like a good trend, which they should have instead of like being all about the money. No, they just only care about like one of these artists actually does care about making something really unique for the audience, something making these type of animated films to make it something really interesting and very unique for the audience. And I was actually blown away by the idea how good they do with these animation in a lot of their films, not just the Spider Verse films, but of course Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and of course K-pop Demon Hunters, and of course now this. Now for this movie, not as good as those films I mentioned, but it's still well done. So I can say they did a good job with this animation. The voice actors were really great, including give me a minute, guys. Let's just gotta look at the voice cast. Of course, yeah, the voice actors were really good. Of course, like Caleb McLachlan. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name, but he's the actor that was in Stranger Things. He played the character named Will Harris, and who is the main character in this movie, and he's the goat. And he was really great in this movie. Of course, Stephen Curry as Lenny, Aaron Pierce as Maine, David Harbour as Archie, and Jelly Roll as Grizz, Nicola Collin as Olivia Burke, and Shirikola as Hannah, like many others. Of course, Gabrielle Union as Jet Fillmore, who is like the Black Panther. And yeah, many other voice actors. Of course, Patton Oswalt, from Remy from Ratatouille. He plays Dennis Cooper. And yeah, a lot of the way they play all these animal characters, where it's like a goat, a Black Panther, a bird, a monkey, or, I know there's more. Oh yeah, I think it was a hippo. I think. Yeah, I was just trying to think. Yeah, okay, it's a hippo, and yeah, like let me look this up for a minute. Yeah. Um, you gotta see what type of animals they are. Like these anthropomorphic animals. Okay. Okay, there he goes. Of course, you got a rhino, a giraffe, iguana, those lizard things, and of course, yeah, these yeah, yeah, they're really entertaining to watch. Like a lot of these animal characters were really fun to watch, and they actually got me into it. And yeah, the voice actors were really great, and even the characters. Well, I won't really say the characters are the greatest, but they are pretty enjoyable. And of course, the basketball scenes in a couple scenes in this movie were a lot of fun to watch. Like, yeah, and it actually gets me into a lot of these basketball scenes, and how they did with the basketball scenes were really fun. And let me tell you, if you guys were asking me what I think about the basketball scenes, they're pretty fun to watch. They're stylized. They got so much energy. It's really cool. And of course, like the soundtrack is really good. There's a couple of good comedy here and there, and like there's some pretty funny couple of slapstick humor, and that were pretty funny. And of course, you got these you got the world, like the furry animal world. Well, nothing anything new, but it actually does look pretty cool. How the animal worlds take place in it looks like they're actually in the jungle, but in different towns and different cities, and it's pretty cool to watch. Of course, it's got and it also has got some solid direction, solid screenplay here and there, and it also and it does have some really good heart to it too. Like, and when I watched the opening scene when Will the goat, who was a little kid, dreams about becoming a basketball player, I was like, I was into it. I was into these characters. I was into the animals, and I'm just like, this seems like it could be a really charming animated film. And what I got, I'm happy what I got. And it does have it does have that. I'm trying to think what else. It really does have really good dynamics of these other characters, and how they did with it. Like, of course, like the character Jet, who and she's a Black Panther, and she's very jealous of the main character, but now becomes friends because that's, it's really, it's pretty something, and it's something, like, of course, because like Jet is Will's biggest fan, and again, I kind of wish they could have just do it as friendships, but that's just how I think about it. And even the ending, even the final act of the film, when they show like a fire basketball game, it's pretty cool to watch. And I will say that the ending is pretty satisfying. As for flaws, I think this is like one of the big flaw of this movie, and this really does pain me to say this. The story. It's not that it's bad. It's just like I said, it's decent writing. I'll say that, but you can tell that it is basically your typical underdog story that we've seen a lot of times. Like you've seen that a lot of times in other animated films that did that. Like for example, you've seen that in Cars. You've seen that in Surfs Up. Like about surfing penguins. You've seen that in uh what's that other movie? Try to think about other movie. Oh yeah, you seen that in Turbo, like about snail. Like you've seen that a lot of times, like like these many. You've seen these movies many times in these underdog, with these animated films to have an underdog story. And again, it's not that it's bad writing because the writing is solid. I will say, but you gotta like if you're gonna do that, you gotta come up with some really good writing. Gets me and you gotta make something at least original, and then it wouldn't really matter that much. So yeah. And also another thing, not all the jokes land. Like it's basically like I understand it's a kids film, and again, I don't usually have a problem for movies like this that aim for these type of demographics. Whether you're making anything something good or entertaining, like making something for kids or younger viewers or anything like that. So yeah, but yeah, like because there are times the jokes were funny, but there are times like some of the jokes were like, okay, that's cute, but and and also the one flaw of this movie is that there is a misunderstanding subplot when you close to the third act. Honestly, I thought that was not needed because I'm just like, oh my god, enough with the cliche. Like it does borrow some cliches we've seen in other films before. But with that said, despite some issues, I actually enjoyed Goat. I think Goat is a lot of fun. I'm not gonna act like it's like an amazing film by no means, and all I can say is I think kids and families will definitely enjoy this movie if they want to watch this movie. Like if they want to go see this movie. Like here's the thing, I'm not gonna act like this is like a must see movie in theaters or anything like that. But if you're parents out there, if you're interested in this movie, you want to take your kids to go see it. You'll have a good time. You won't be disappointed. But yeah, but I wouldn't really like recommend to rush out and see it in theaters if you have better things to do. But you can either go see it in theaters or wait until streaming service or anything like that. But yeah, overall, I, all I can say is well, there's nothing really epic about it. There's nothing really anything new about this movie. But for what it is, I really enjoy Goat. I thought it was a fun a little animated film. I think it's very delightful and very solid. And here's my rating. My overall rating, I'm gonna give this movie a 7.5 out of 10 and a very solid B. So yeah, if you're interested in this movie, check it out if you want to. All right, that's my review for Goat. I will return next month in March if I can put out some contents. And that's all I can talk about for movie review, what movie I saw. So let me know in the comments down below what do you think of my review on it, and if you hit like, if you like this review, hit like if you can. And I will return next month, and I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.